Oftentimes when working on a design, you're going to want to zoom in to get a better view of your stitches and then zoom out to get a full view of your design. Let's look at the zoom tools and the zoom toolbar and see how to do that. To start off with, the zoom tools are located on the zoom bar up top. Hover over them to see what they do. The first one is zoom in. Well, the second one is zoom in. The first one we're going to look at. And every time I click on it, it will zoom in to the center of the screen. The next one zooms out every step. The next one over is actual size. When I click on this, this is going to go as close to actual size as it can figure based on your screen resolution and your monitor size. Next one over fits the window. If your design is larger than the window, it will zoom out so that it fits within it. If it is smaller than the window, it will zoom in so that it fills the window. Next one over fits selection. It's currently grayed out because I don't have anything selected, but if I were to select this pair, it becomes available, and I can click on this to zoom in straight to that pair. Now the next one over centers selection. This has no bearing on zoom level at all. All it does is it centers whatever you have selected on screen. So this might be handy if you are looking through an element list and you have some element selected, and I pick one that's on screen. Let me try one that's off screen. So I have an element selected. I don't know where this is in my list. I can center selection to pan right to that. Let me zoom out for a second. The last one on the right is zoom previous. Now this will toggle between the last two zoom states. So I might be zoomed in working on something really tightly and then zoom out to see the whole design, and then I can go back to zoom previous and zoom right back to where I was and continue my work. The first zoom tool in the list is graphical zoom in. So all of the others are tools that work by clicking on them. This one, you click on it and then it is a tool that you actually use. And as soon as I move my cursor off of this bar, it becomes a magnifying glass. And as I click and drag, I drag a box. When I let go, my screen will zoom to that box. If I want to know where I'm zoomed into, I have my zoom level down here on the zoom bar, and I can click and drag, click and choose a different zoom level, so I can be zoomed in 4,000%, or I can zoom in to fit the design or fit selection. I can do all of that from this drop down as well. The one thing I do want to caution you about the graphical zoom in is if you stutter on the mouse, you might be zoomed in 5,000% on a little bitty white spot on your background. If that happens, you can go to Navigator to see where you are. Try not to panic. A lot of customers will use undo and redo, undo, to try to get out of that. The problem is that undo and redo have no effect on zoom level at all. So if you get into a problem with the zoom tool, get out of it with the zoom tool. Just click on actual size or fit window, and then you'll be able to see your design and move in from there. So to get out of this, I'm going to hit fit window, and now I can see my design. A couple of other ways you can zoom. You can zoom using the keyboard and the scroll wheel on your mouse. So if I'm digitizing or editing and I don't want to come back up and grab a tool, I can hold Shift and scroll on the scroll wheel of my mouse to zoom into my cursor. So here I was aiming right at the eye of the bird and I zoomed straight into that. I can zoom back out as well. Let me go back to fit window. If I hold Alt and scroll on my scroll wheel, I'll zoom to the center of the screen and zoom out. And just to be clear, changing your zoom level does not change the size of the design at all. It is just changing how you're looking at it and how closely you're looking at it. When I'm zoomed in really tightly, I can just scroll on the scroll wheel to pan up or down. If I hold Control, I can scroll on my scroll wheel to pan left or right. So you have a lot of zoom tools to zoom in and out of a design and get a better look at what you're working on and those stitches. You can also pan left or right or up or down, so you can move around your design that way as well. And get in, fix everything the way that you want it, and get back out, no problem.